is the Voice of Vietnam.
This is the Voice of Vietnam, broadcasting from Hanoi, capital of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam.
Welcome to the Voice of Vietnam. I'm Napsip, your host. In today's program, Current Affairs will report on Vietnam's efforts to ensure people's happiness and wealth as stated in the resolution of the 13th National Party Congress. Then our economy segment will examine two scenarios for Vietnam's economic growth this year. And finally, in Discovery Vietnam, we will learn about agricultural tourism in the Central Highland province of Lâm Đồng. But first, here's the news.
In headlines, the Politburo and Secretariat of the 13th Party Central Committee held first session. First doses of AstraZeneca vaccine to be delivered to Vietnam in late February. And ASEAN countries agreed to spend $10.5 million buying COVID-19 vaccines. Now for the news in detail. The Politburo and Secretariat of the 13th Party Central Committee held their first session in Hanoi on Thursday. They discussed key tasks for the first quarter and the policy for purchasing and administering COVID-19 vaccines. The Politburo and Secretariat asked party committees at all levels to provide leadership and direction and to offer all possible support to fight the pandemic. The Politburo and Secretariat highlighted the need to realize the resolution adopted by the 13th National Party Congress at the beginning of the year for the next 5-year plan. Speaking at the event, Party General Secretary and State President Nguyễn Phú Trọng urged every agency, sector and unit to build their own action plans for the first quarter and the rest of the year to implement the policies adopted at the National Party Congress. He called for the successful organization of the elections of deputies to the National Assembly and People's Councils. The Politburo and Secretariat agreed to use the state budget and other sources to purchase vaccines. The distribution of vaccines must follow the law as well as recommendations from both the World Health Organization and manufacturers. The Prime Minister has asked state management to foster innovation in the private sector to fuel national economic growth. Speaking at an online conference with several cities and provinces on a proposal to boost state management overarching reform in the economy on Thursday, Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc hailed the importance of the private economic sector and the proposal's recommendations. He said that the proposal should fit well with the new situation, as well as the socialist-oriented market economy and the 13th National Party Congress's resolutions. He emphasized on solutions including boost economy and society, frugality in investment, natural resources for green growth, as well as fostering the private sector's dynamism and innovation. Vice President Đặng Thị Ngọc Thịnh has attended a tree planting festival in Quảng Bình province. In her remarks, Thịnh recalled the tree planting campaign launched by President Hồ Chí Minh in the spring in 1960, saying that generations of Vietnamese have responded to his call for environmental protection in the decade since. Thịnh said tree planting and reforestation hold strategic significance for the country's sustainable development.
I hope and believe that administrations at all levels, the public and soldiers nationwide, will continue to uphold the tree planting tradition launched by President Hồ Chí Minh. We need to make joint efforts to respond to the initiatives of Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc to plant 1 billion trees over the next 5 years.
Vietnam supports and congratulates Nazi Okonjo Iweala on her election as WTO General Director. Vietnam ambassador to the UN, Lady Dick Mai, heads of the permanent mission to the UN and the WTO and other international organizations held in an online special session of the WTO General Council. The Vietnam will cooperate closely with Ms. Okyuela and believes she is capable of leading the WTO to meet current challenges and achieve its targets. The Drug Administration of Vietnam under the Health Ministry has approved the import of the first 300,000 doses of the British AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine for emergency use. This is the first batch of Vietnam's total order of 30 million doses of the vaccine purchased directly from the manufacturer. Additionally, the country is receiving more than 4.8 million doses under the WHO-led COVAX initiative. The first batch is expected to be delivered by AstraZeneca Vietnam on February the 28th. Female Vietnamese photographer Khánh Phan has won 2 prizes, including a gold at the 2020 Tokyo International Photo Awards. She clinched the gold in the People and Culture category with her photo, The Children Dancing with Guns. Taken in December 2018, the photo features kids dancing with traditional Asian instruments at a festival of the Jirai ethnic minority people in the Central Highlands province of Gia Lai. She also bagged a silver in the Advertising, Travel and Tourism category with a photo entitled Drying Fish, which was taken in July last year at Long Hai Fish Market in the southern province of Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu.
And also world news. Vietnam and ASEAN countries on Thursday agreed to spend $10.5 million to purchase COVID-19 vaccine via the ASEAN Response Fund. The vaccine doses will be distributed equally among the group's members. Members agreed at the 6th meeting of the ASEAN Coordinating Council ACC Working Group on Public Health Emergencies, held virtually on Thursday. Addressing the event on behalf of Vietnam, Deputy Foreign Minister Nguyễn Quốc Dũng reiterated Vietnam's support to use the funds to buy vaccines for people of ASEAN member countries. He called on each country to clearly identify their demands in terms of volumes, types of vaccines, as well as people prioritized groups to get the vaccines. Mr. Dũng welcomed the proposal of Brunei ASEAN Trip 2021 to use global multilateral mechanisms such as COVAX as vaccine provider to meet ASEAN's demands. UN Children's Fund UNICEF Executive Director Henrietta Fore on Wednesday called on the UN Security Council to extend a humanitarian pause for COVID-19 vaccination. We need a global ceasefire. At a minimum, we need your help to extend the call made in Resolution 2532 for a humanitarian pause for the duration of vaccines delivery and administration, for a Security Council open debate on ensuring the equitable access to COVID-19 vaccines in contexts affected by conflict and insecurity. Resolution 2532, which was adopted in July 2020, calls on all parties to armed conflicts to engage immediately in a durable humanitarian pause for at least 90 consecutive days in order to enable the safe, unhindered and sustained delivery of humanitarian assistance, provisions of related services by impartial humanitarian actors, and medical evacuations. NATO defense ministers began the 2-day virtual meeting on Wednesday to review progress toward federal burden sharing, strengthen deterrence and defense, and discuss the NATO 2030 initiative, which aims at making the transatlantic alliance fit for the future. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said this is NATO's first ministerial meeting with the new Biden administration, which is an important milestone in the bloc's preparations for its summit later this year. According to Stoltenberg, NATO has a unique opportunity to open a new chapter in relations between Europe and North America, adding that NATO faces global challenges that no country and no continent can tackle alone. He stressed the importance of political coordination among allies to protect the rules-based order, noting that NATO must also do more to address the security implications of climate change.
And the news, the main points once again. The Politburo and Secretariat of the 13th Party Central Committee held first session. The first doses of AstraZeneca vaccine to be delivered to Vietnam in late February. And ASEAN countries agreed to spend more than $10 million buying COVID-19 vaccines. That's the news.